Hi, I'm Sam Oliver. I'm 18. I've been climbing for about 5 years now.
Hi, my name's Donald McIntosh. I was involved in climbing for approximately 15 years, and during my time I had about 10 years in the mountain rescue team as well.
You don't have to be super fit to be able to climb. A lot of people see rock climbers going up really steep ground and think, oh, they must have absolutely awesome upper body strength, but you don't really need it. If you're hanging by your arms all the time, you're doing it wrong. Your legs are bigger, you have more muscles in your legs. You can stand for a lot longer than you can hang from your arms. But in response to that question, no, not really, because there are easy routes and there are harder routes. There are routes suitable for anybody.
I suppose it takes me back to school time, when one of my teachers took me out hill walking, and that's how I kind of get into it. Thereafter I joined the police and found out there was a mountain rescue team, and I trained up so as I could get a selection for the team. Went through a selection process and was successful in getting into the mountain rescue team, and obtained a lot of training, time in the hill, and courses through that.
That's a difficult question to answer. Why do I do rock climbing? I think unless you are a climber, it's quite hard to say why. I guess it's sort of the freedom you get of being able to just walk up to a crag on a mountainside and say, oh, I can climb that, and have the skills and the knowledge to be able to do it safely. As well as that, it's the movement of climbing up things is quite enjoyable and quite satisfying, especially if you've just completed a really hard route and you get to the top and your arms are pumped but you've just done it. It's quite satisfying.
It can be very expensive, but it can be inexpensive as well. If you start at one of the climbing centres, you can hire your equipment, shoes, the ropes are provided, and you hire a harness and a helmet. And that's not too expensive, but if you move on to doing your climbing outdoors, you've got to have all your own equipment, and that can be very expensive.
Advice I'd give to people that want to start rock climbing, there are hundreds and hundreds of indoor rock climbing walls that you could visit and start learning the basics. From then on, if you want to go outdoor climbing, I'd suggest again you could probably, if you want to be on the safe side, hire a professional instructor to take you outdoor climbing, or go with a friend who knows what they're doing first. That's probably the best way to start it.
Well, as I said, I've done 10 years in the mountain rescue team, and I've come through various different courses, whether it be winter skills, avalanche training, rope access, navigation, stuff like that, and ultimately I finished off as a missing person search manager within the mountain rescue team.
A lot of people say, oh, it's too dangerous, it's too dangerous. It's as dangerous as you make it. If you want to make it safe, you can make it quite safe by going, again, indoor rock climbing. That's in a safe environment with professionals around you. But if you wanted to start rock climbing, my advice is just go for it, because it's very fun.
Well, first of all, I would say, if you want to start climbing, get somebody that you can go out with that actually knows what they're doing, or seek out a bit of training, probably starting at one of your local climbing centres and take it from there. Dangerous is maybe too strong a word. Hazardous. If you don't have the correct equipment and you overstretch yourself, it can be very dangerous. But these dangers can be ironed out. Training's a must. If you're actually going to go as far as doing rock climbing, there's various different aspects to climbing. It can be hill walking, rock climbing, or just walking up the mountain. But if you want to take up rock climbing as a sport or hobby, you need training in how to do your ropes and place your bits of kit and make sure that they're safe and secure. Probably the most memorable climb for me is a climb that in the summer is probably a walk, but in the winter, in the middle of a blizzard and a whiteout covered in snow, it's extremely dangerous, and that was the Curved Ridge in Buccleuch Moor in Glencoe. There's a party of 6 of us going up, every one of us roped together. When we got to the top, we couldn't even stand up, we had to lie down to eat something, and that's how bad the weather conditions were. Obviously over 10 years I was involved in a few rescues, more missing person searches, but as I mentioned, I'd been through my training as a search manager, and one day I had to attend the O'Malley Horseshoe, Ben Cruachan. It was 2 Americans that hadn't returned from the day's walking the day previous, and their car was at the bottom of the road here, and this is where we thought we were. So At one point I was controlling 200 searchers on the mountain involving police mountain rescue teams, civilian mountain rescue teams and also RAF mountain rescue teams. The cloud base was too low for the helicopter, the search and rescue helicopter, to come in and help us at that time. And we had an idea of where we thought, the only area we couldn't access is where we thought these climbers might be, because we'd had a telephone signal from that side of the mountain the previous day from their phone, or the phone that one of the climbers had. But it was too dangerous for our rescue teams to access in the mist. So once the cloud base come up, we get Rescue 177, I think it was, to come in and overfly that area, start to sector off the area and overfly it, and within 10 minutes on scene the helicopter located the two climbers. Unfortunately, one of the climbers had succumbed to injuries from a fall that he'd sustained, and his friend had serious injuries but was still alive. Both the deceased and the surviving climber were removed by helicopter and team members and taken to Raigmore Hospital. There's always hindsight. If they hadn't been out walking that day, it wouldn't have happened, but it was an accident. He slipped over an edge, he just too close to an edge and lost his footing and went over, and his friend went to help him and he also lost his footing. So the first one probably no, the second one could have been prevented had he not gone to the edge.